tourism, we must use it. We must promote it. Don't ever abuse it. Never abuse it. Oh no. 9 mornings. Keep it clean. 9 mornings. 9 mornings. It's we 9 mornings. Barbados try to take it. 9 mornings. Copy and duplicate it. It's we 9 mornings.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so good morning to SVG. Yes, it's the start. It's the first day of the 9 mornings celebration. It's the 16th of December, 2024. And in just about a week's time, we'll be celebrating Christmas. All right, we'll be celebrating Christmas Day. For those of you anticipating that day, it is almost here. All right, I know persons are out already shopping, painting, doing the decorations, they are soaking their black cake, all those traditional Vinci activities that we do. Many persons are already engaged in them, all right? So I know that for some persons, they are having a busy weekend, not so much getting rest, but, in preparations, you have persons already coming home for the Christmas season. So, of course, we welcome all of you who are coming back. So this morning, yes, you are tuned into Activated Mornings here on WEFM, and Roleza is in studio. Dianna may be joining. But at this time, we welcome P. John, who will be providing some commentary to us to start today's program. So P. John, I think that you're listening, so you can go right ahead. And all right, let me answer. Good morning, Mr. John.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. What about you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Let me wish you all the best of the season, first of all.
Thank you. To you as well.
I wish all the listeners of WEFM a very good Christmas. In your newscast a while ago, you made reference to Keith Mitchell, Honorable Keith Mitchell of Grenada, saying that he chose not to seek leadership of his party. And I just want to make a few comments on that. In fact, the party put out a statement saying that they have elected Emmeline Pierre, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, as the new leader. And this is a first for Grenada, as a woman leading a major political party. In fact, in the Windward Islands, the last and probably the only female leader we have had in the Windward Islands was the late Eugenia Child of Dominica. And the question came to my mind, what is happening in St. Vincent, where that is concerned? How close are we to electing or choosing a female leader for any of our major political parties? We have some young prospects, but in any discussion where leadership is concerned with respect to political parties, we hardly ever hear a name of a female being mentioned in any meaningful way. And I'm wondering what is the situation with us where female leadership is concerned at that level. In the last election, we had about 5 females contesting, and none of them was able to win a seat. We have a number of females in parliament, but none of them is elected. And the question I have, are we ready for female leaders? Do we just simply pay lip service to the role of women in our society, particularly where leadership is concerned? So I just thought I should make a few remarks on that this morning. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Are you waiting for my commentary? Or you?
I could, if you have a response, you could share it
All
with
right.
me.
Do you think that as men that the majority of men actually would respect a woman in a female position, especially at the highest office in an office in the land?
I am certainly ready for that. Long time. I can't speak for other males, but I don't see any problem with it. And we have a lot of bright prospects, young, bright, and capable young ladies who can rise to the position of leadership. What bothers me is that even in the discussion you hear in each of the parties, all the parties you hear names being called of who's next or who will succeed. But I have not heard the name of a female. We have had an attempt at a female leading a party, which is the DRP with Anissa Batiste, but nobody really took that seriously.
And why didn't people take it seriously? Was it that they didn't take her seriously, or what?
They didn't take her seriously
because she was female.
I don't know, but I think the problem is that St. Vincent is not ready for third party of any significance.
Okay.
And we have Doris Charles Frederick, who claims she started something called National Liberation Movement, but nobody taking those efforts seriously. But the question is, why can't we see at this stage any females emerging as prospective leaders for any of the political parties, the main political parties? And that thought for me was triggered by the election of or the selection of Emmeline Pierre in Grenada to head the new national party, which is currently the opposition in Grenada.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
All right, no problem, P-John. All right. Thanks. All right, so yes, P-John has provided a bit of food for thought. I think that there are many times, many of us as women, not necessarily me in terms of getting involved in politics, but many of us as women do not want to be involved in the mudslinging that the men seem to enjoy so much. That's generally one thought. And one of the other things that I have to recognize is that while we see that women are advancing in society in terms of they're more present within the workforce, their educational advancement, or they have advanced a lot more significantly than men. The point is that many persons who head organizations, who head businesses, etc., they are still men. So the workforce may have more women, but they are still headed by men. And there are times when we also have to wonder how much respect is given to women in leadership positions, because there is this school of thought for some men that they're not going to take directive from a woman, right? Some men still see women as being the submissive kind, or the ones who are supposed to answer to them and not they responding or being well, I don't want to use the word boss wrong because that has a different connotation by itself, right? But there are many men out there who just cannot take leadership or do not want to take directive from a woman. And sometimes that is where the problem lies in terms of ego, in terms of some men thinking that, no, this is not going to be happening. They're not going to be taking direction from a woman, etc. Sometimes ego comes into play, and that is what makes it a challenge. And you see it sometimes even within the home setting, where men are the head of the household. And even though you are a woman, a female boss within your own rights, you are supposed to be second to your husband within the home. All right. So that's just a little bit of thought there with regards to that commentary from P-John. All right, so we are going to quickly jump into the weekend recap. Let me see, somebody is saying here. Let me see if it's readable. Okay, so somebody is saying, given that the Caribbean follows the major country that would rather select a sex offender than a female, why does he think this will happen? The Caribbean is a society that still sees females, sadly, as property. And that is true. That is very true. All right. So we're going to head into some of the things that happened on the weekend. Some good things happened and some not so good things happened. But for right now, we're just going to focus on the good. All right. So on the weekend, we saw that two caroling contests in particular took place. The caroling contest for the police took place on Friday, and the one for the tourism, Ministry of Tourism and Culture took place on a Saturday. I did not get to see the one for police because when it was I was looking to see where it was being streamed, I didn't come across it. However, I did look at the one for the Ministry of Tourism and Culture in totality, right? I looked at the entire thing. And I would say that it is a good attempt. I know that growing up as a child that I looked forward to the caroling contest. I always looked forward to the caroling contest, right? And we saw that back then, there were a lot of ministries, a lot of departments that were taking part in it. I do note that what was advertised was that cabinet was supposed to be performing. And maybe that's also why it is I looked at it, because I was hoping, to see our cabinet or the members of cabinet in a different capacity. Oftentimes we see them suited up in parliament. We see them speaking at press conferences or speaking at the opening of different activities and events. But it would have been nice if they really did turn out to see them in a bit more of a more jovial and festive event. And that unfortunately did not happen. So I felt like it was a little bit of false advertising. I mean, I don't know why it is that they didn't perform, but they didn't, right? But commendations to the Minister of Tourism and Culture for pulling off that event. Really and truly, it would be nice to see it as a bigger activity with more participation from different groups, departments, etc. Hats off to the Ministry of Health, because since I was a child, they have been a constant at the caroling contest, right? They've always come out and they always leave you with a message that you're supposed to take with you throughout the Christmas season, all right? So hats off to them in particular. And the Police Youth Club, they actually won that contest. So congratulations to them as well, all right? Yes, we noted that today is the 16th of December and our official 9 morning celebrations have started. I looked at part of it this morning before getting into work. I also have to say commendations to the MCs and the organizers of that event, because you have to have fun, lively people to MC these type of events, to get persons to participate, to come up from the crowd. To the parents who allow their children to go to these events or go with them to these events, commendations to you as well, because you have the children participating and we see the continuity of that unique Vinci tradition, that unique Vinci festival taking place. All right. So for those persons who make it out, when it's still dark, when it's still cold, commendations to you, and to the sponsors in particular of the various 9 morning activities that are going to be held within the different communities. We thank you for that. All right. Keeping the festivities alive here in SVG. All right. Last night as well, the 9 nights was launched at the Botanical Gardens. So we have somewhere we can go in the night, folks, right? To see all the pretty Christmas lights, we have somewhere to go. And just to note, for those of you who may not know, the WEFM Christmas concert is taking place tonight. So you can view that. We are going to be live streaming it from 8 tonight. All right. So that is also something for you to look forward to, the annual WEFM Christmas caroling concert. It's not a competition, a concert. All right. So we are in the festive mode. We are trying our best to stay in the festive mode, despite many things that have happened between Friday and on up to yesterday. The negative things that seem to be trying to dampen our Christmas spirit. But in the midst of all of that, let's try our best to be in a cheerful mood as best as we possibly can. All right. So at this time, we are going to take a quick break. And at 7:35, we will be back with our traffic talk from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Traffic Department. So you want to stay tuned for that, as we are officially in our Activated Mornings program for today.
Listen, I don't know how to cushion this anymore. We've been uncomfortable